the I am. Praise ye the I am. O my soul, while I live, will I praise the I am. I will sing praises unto my God while I have any being. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth and returneth to his earth. In that very day his thoughts perish. Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the I am his God, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all therein is, which keepeth truth forever, which executeth judgment for the oppressed, which giveth food to the hungry, and to loose the prisoners. The I am openeth the eyes of the blind, and the I am raiseth them that bowed down. And the I am loveth the righteous. Yes. The I am preserveth the strangers. He relieveth the fatherless and widows. But the way of the wicked he turneth upside down. The I am shall reign forever, even thy God, O Zion, unto all generations. Praise ye the I am. Psalms chapter 146. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts. And let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. A prayer of Abram. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on this platform, even YouTube. Yes. And with a hand clap of praise, we thank God for all of you that have been with us since the beginning. We thank God for those of you that have followed and you have been there, here, and there's about, and thereafter, or whatever. We thank God for those of you who have just subscribed. Yes, we thank God for you, and we thank God for those of you who are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, all praises to the Most High. All praises to Him who possesses all things. Him who created all things, even the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes, by which we have this liberty, which is in Him, through His commandments, statutes, and ordinances, and law. Glory to God. Yes. Now, we're in the book of Judges. Yes, Judges. Yes, I like that psalm. That psalm says He opened the eyes of the blind. Not just in your time of your Isis, as they try to say, but God's been opening the eyes of the blind and raising the dead, and half of that, the half hasn't even been told. As they say in that little 3 years that Jesus does, the book cannot contain what He does. I think a book can. That's just too little time to have done everything. Over thousands of years, the Most High have done miracles. He has done signs and wonders throughout the earth, and many people in the Americas, in Australia, and Africa, and all the parts of this continent that is comprised of Russia, Europe, and Spain, and all these other places. These are countries on our continent. Europe, they are not country. They are not continents. They are countries. Okay. We're in the 14th, should I say the 14th chapter of the book of Judges. Yes, we just read how Samson was born and how God had done so great a feat as to just let his parents know and to give them confidence that what you're doing is right, that he should not have his hair cut, neither should he eat wine, or any unclean thing, even in the woman's pregnancy. Now, this is the same thing that God, that they should have, when they made up this thing about the New Testament, they should have done the same thing. They absolutely should have did the same thing instead of saying he overshadowed her. See, whoever was that scribe, he messed up. He really messed up. Many of us didn't see it because there was a scale put up on our eyes, but now we woke. Yeah, the woke folks. Yeah, we woke. We find out this New Testament is nothing but a big fake. Although the words have been derived from, a lot of words and phrases have been derived from the old, or should we say the true testimony of the Most High. But this here, let it go, Christian. Let it go. You're only going to find out later in shame and in embarrassment. I was there, as many of you are now. I was vehemently fighting for it, but God hasn't opened your eyes yet. He said, well, how can you talk about this? But you're going to quote something in your New Testament, and you're going to say something. But that's not the word of the Most High. Jesus is not your Most High. He's not God. This Jesus that they're named is nothing. And not any other man this day. But God will redeem his people, because his laws are forever, and they're for the children of Jacob, and those who would join themselves unto the children of Jacob. This is what his laws, commandments, and statutes are for, because the world rejected God anyway. Now we're going to see how even the children of Jacob rejected God, and the way they did it, and how it led up to what we have even to this day as we read throughout Judges. Yes, we're going to see that. I mean, it's really a disappointment. You can't hurt God's feelings, but you can make him angry and disappoint God, and the confidence he tried to put in you, and you just fail him miserably. Yes, it's hard. See God in all of this, not just what's written here, but see God, understand and know God, where he stands as a creator, as the creator, as the power, as the might, the majesty, and glory. See God. The words here is something, he's just showing how God dealt with the foolery of the ancestors of Jacob. Yes. And that regardless of what a man sees or hears, he still is going to turn back to his old ways, like a dog to his vomit, and a pig back to its slop in this mud pit. Yes, many are. But as soon as they get, but they have to, in order to be healed, they have to be cleaned up, and the wounds sewn up or whatever. And then once they get through, they're going back to what they were doing. Just look at it. Look at the vets and what they do to the pig. They have to clean the pig up, or clean that spot on the pig that's bad. Or on the, we don't eat pig. We don't eat chickens. We don't eat vultures. I mean, you sit up there and you eat these things, and you know this is something else. It's just like chicken is just like eating. It's just like eating that. So you say, well, I'm a mess, but either way, regardless, just like eating crow. Yes, but anyway, let's continue. Verse 1. And Samson went down to Timnah, and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. In other words, I want to have relations with her. Ooh, she fine. All right, man. Child of Jacob. Yes, whether she black or whatever she is. I mean, South American, Mongolian American, or whatever you want to call it. Indian American, or I'm talking about India from Indiastan, whatever you want to call it. But either way, they were here too. These are the Indians that you see. They were here after the black man was. I know that for a fact. Because Noah's children were not of any other ethnicity. It was just Noah's children. Noah was, so they say, an albino, but yet he was black. And so all his children were black. They had the same DNA and everything, but some kind of way God had to do this in order to teach the children of Jacob a lesson. So he wanted a wife of a strange woman who worshiped strange gods. Verse 3, and his father and his mother said unto him, is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren or among all my people that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines, because she has a big nosh, big breast? That should only be attractive if you just want more food for your babies that she shall bear. Yes. Okay. Now, and Samson said unto his father, get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the I am, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. And by the way, women, you just because you breastfeed your children don't mean your breast is going to go flat. That's because lack of exercise and some people malnutrition of some sort. But the fact is, it's nothing but just pockets. You strengthen yourself, you keep yourself healthy, you watch your weight and what you eat and everything, your breast's going to be fine as far as being attractive to your husband. It's going to be that way. Trust it. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the I am, in verse 4, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother to Timnath. And they came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the spirit of the I am came mightily upon him, and he rent him, and as he would have rent a kid. He tore him as he would tear a baby goat. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. He went down there, but he met the lion. Understand what is written. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. Oh yeah, see, these days they honored their parents. They honored their mothers and fathers. You know, not to even put them in old folks' home. This is the way of the heathen. It's not the way of Israel. It's not the way of Judah. It's not the way of Ephraim or Benjamin or Manasseh. It's not the way of the children of Jacob. Not the way. Yeah, many of you I just want to enjoy my husband. No, you have been colonized in your mind. You go afar and you don't send your mother and father food. You go afar and you don't do nothing for your mother and father. You just do by yourself. You're selfish. They raised you and took care of you for maybe over 18 of your years of your life. And you don't do a thing. God is going to get many of you because you didn't. He's going to judge many of you for this, for going against your mother, your father, and your mother. I don't care if they separated or whatever. Some kind of way you have to show respect and honor to your father and mother, even if he's incarcerated. But yet they sit in movies where, like Drumline, I guess you wasn't with me. You don't know the circumstances behind that man and that woman. You don't know why they split up. Many things are by design. God shall take you and rend you. Even if you haven't seen your father in 50 years, you ought to go, if you get a chance to meet your father. Go and just have a time with him. Because that is your father. Regardless of who your mother married or your father married, that is your father or your mother. Their relations have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. It's only the relationship that they have as far as you being their seed. God will deal with them in what they do, but you do what God says do. That's it. Honor your mother and father. And the spirit of the I am came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after that time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And he was ready to take her home now. Behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey, or take her somewhere, in the carcass of the lion. And when he came back, passing that same road apparently, and he took thereof in his hands and went eating and came to his father and mother, and he gave them. And they did eat, but he told them not. Now see, him marrying this Philistine is those who marry outside of their people, even today. Yeah, she was black, but the fact is that she was a strange woman, period. Now, as far as those of the same hue as you have to be careful. Because the fact is, not everyone believes in the Most High as a child of Jacob would, or a chosen child of Jacob would. And some, they say they believe, but they don't go by, they still go by the ways of Christianity or the Philistines or whatever is derived from the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and made into a different belief system. Now, he went on eating and he gave them something to eat. Yes, we're in verse 10 again. So his father and mother went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men do. Okay, this was traditional amongst them. Now, the Philistines were mostly the same people. They had the same type of traditions, except for they worshiped idols. And it came to pass, when they saw him, they brought 30 companions to be with him. In other words, hey, we're getting ready to have a party. Get the beer, the wine, the whiskey. Hey, turn up the music. Put on some soul. But anyway, regardless. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. Hey, baby, they might have played some rap music. I'm kidding. But if you can certainly declare me within 7 days of the feast. Now, he's being beside himself. And find it out. Then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. Now, God did this for a reason. He was setting the Philistines up, as we shall see. Yes. But then if ye cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, entice thy husbands, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. And have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so? Now, if she would have told Samson, God knows she wouldn't have told Samson. It's because apparently it's that she still has loyalty, a high degree of loyalty, not only to her family, but to her people, the Philistines. She had a high degree of loyalty, although she might have had some feelings for Samson, but it wasn't that much. Not to go and deceive him in that manner. No, there is no justification for any type of deception. There's no justification for prostitution. There's no justification for pimping. There's no justification for murder. There's no justification for any type of molestation. There's no justification whatsoever. I'm talking about violent molestation. And Samson's wife wept before him and said, because they enticed her, they said, okay, come on. Samson's wife wept before him and said, dost thou but hate me? I mean, he should have known something was wrong with that, but this is just what the translators put out. And lovest me not. If we were to read these words in its original language, we wouldn't understand it. It's not in the format of the English, but they did it this way so that you might. They did not speak no way near this form. Now, if you listen to those of the land and those who speak either Phoenician or Hebraic language or different languages other than here or European languages, it would be much different. Now he says, thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people. Look at what she's saying here. My people. In other words, here you're supposed to be his wife, but you're saying your people. Your allegiance is too much to your people, baby. I'm sorry. I ain't telling you nothing. Instead of telling him, can you save my mother and father from my people? And they could have went and stayed with their mother and father. But no, that's not the way the Most High wanted it, because he's there to judge Israel, or to defend, or should I say, take vengeance upon the people of the Philistines for God. Now, he says, thou dost but hate me and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? And she wept before him the 7 days while her feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay upon him, and she told the riddle to her to the children of her people. Yes, that's what she did. My mind was stuck on that sound that came from a phone. Excuse me. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, what is sweeter than honey? And what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, if ye had not plowed my heifer. Now how did he know they plowed his heifer? Ye had not found out my riddle. And the spirit of the I Am came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave. He went down and just jacked the men of Philistine, Palestine, or whatever you want to call it. He jacked them jokers. Now, they wasn't the Palestinians that you see today. See, that's why I say always, the land was doubly colonized. Yes, and you can ask Arabic, the Arabic language, the writings, the alphabet of the Arabic language, according to Anubantu and Gold Miller, was written by a black man, and yet they hate you. The extremists, should I say. But either way, when Muhammad understood all that stuff, it came out when he couldn't read, and neither none of the rest of them. But after a while, the Arabic language was written by a black man. Look in the history of the Black Hebrews and Arabs by Gert Mueller and Anubantu. Yes, that's where it's at. That's my reference right there. And he says now in verse 19, and the spirit of the I Am came upon him. And he went down to Ashkelon and slew 30 men. He jacked them. In verse 20, Samson's wife was given to his companion, who he had used as his friend. Now, how in the world these pagans, I mean, her vow was to Samson. His vow was to her, but they're going to take his wife from him. His wife is his. See, how should she have even went? This woman had too much. He went with a woman that did not value the marriage they had, the union they had, but she wanted to play him for a fool. They threatened her, yes, but she wanted to do that anyway. According to as this narrative goes, this woman was wicked. And with that, we're going to say just take heed to what you do in your marriages. We live in a land, the laws are of the Philistines, so-called, I'm using it as an allegory. Philistine laws, Philistine ways, and everything is for the Philistine, to put it that way. Just like the Samson day. They will favor their own before they favor you, because Deuteronomy chapter 28. Yes. Now when we turn to the first part of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and do that which is right before the Most High, then we still can enjoy even individually those things that God has for his people, because a remnant of the Most High are the ones who really is going to deliver the whole earth. Those are going to be the judges. But God is going to do it all regardless. It wasn't by the strength of Samson that these men were slain and he jacked their clothing. It was by the strength that the Most High gave him. Nothing of himself. This is what God's trying to get us out of, is this adultery. Me, I. This is what's happening. And some people will say, well, I had one guy, oh, you said I. It doesn't matter whether you said I or whatever, but the fact is that giving all glory to God. Ain't no such thing as we, but God be the glory. And if we agree, then it's we in the Most High. We agree. Yes. Now, so we're going to continue on in Judges chapter 15. And with this, we're going to say, peace.
Walk with me.